People in a Slum by Bae Chang-ho, a film that shows the bad side of the economic development in South Korea with the difficulties of poor workers coming to the cities from the countryside. A film all the more courageous as it was produced during a period of heavy censorship. Bae Chang-ho, one of the major directors of the 1980s, does not however fall into easy pity and shows great empathy toward all of his characters. But it is certainly Ahn Sung-Ki who is the most touching in the role of his father haunted by guilt for having abandoned his family.
같이 떠나자. 내 나머지 인생 걸고 말하는 거야.
그무, 저는 이 회사에 바쳐진 몸, 충성을 바칠 것을 다짐하며 소인은 이만.
The Age of Success by Jong Sun-woo, a film exploring the other end of the South Korean economic miracle, a parody of the rigid, ultra-hierarchical corporate culture that was emerging in the country in the 1980s. Ahn Sung-Ki is brilliant in the role of this marketing executive ready to do anything to reach the top of the corporate pyramid, crushing everyone in his path. North Korean Partisans in the South by Chung Ji-young, a courageous evocation of the struggle of communist partisans in the south of the country during the Korean War. The ideological fractures that led to the separation of the peninsula are brilliantly illustrated, as are the multiple abuses linked to their implementation. The character of Ahn Sung-Ki must confront his humanist convictions with the reality on the ground, with all the doubts and hesitation that this may cause. An intellectual and psychological depth perfectly conveyed by the actor.
우리가 뛴 후에는 동무가 알아서 하는 거다.
The Taebaek Mountains by Im Kwon-taek, in many ways the Northern Partisans in South Korea twin film, dismissing supporters of both political ideologies for their brutality. A fascinating exploration of human psychology in time of crisis, with deep personal connections for the filmmaker. Ahn Sung-Ki brilliantly embodied this helpless witness to the heartbreaking events that are ravaging his community.
그는 아버님을 살려냈다고 생각할지 모르지만 정신적으로는 무참히 살해한 것이오.
Nowhere to Hide by Lee Myung-se, the prototype of the modern Korean cop stories with its ability to juggle tones, an extremely dynamic direction and editing, and constant inventiveness. Many later films would largely draw their inspiration from it. Ahn Sung-Ki manages to project a threatening aura and proves to be at the required level for the many physical sequences needed for the film. Musa the Warrior by Kim Sung-soo, an adventure piece spiced up with a little romance and politic, with impeccable artistic direction and captivating landscapes. An example of successful collaboration between China and South Korea, with a 4-star cast including Ahn Sung-Ki as an elite archer. Silmido by Kang Woo-suk, the authentic and tragic story of a group of death row inmates trained to assassinate Kim Il-sung and who find themselves abandoned by the authorities when the political climate change. A manly film exalting a macho camaraderie, but complicated by political betrayals for a touching final. Ahn Sung-Ki manages to be convincing as a ruthless commander who cannot help but develop a certain affection for his men.
나를 쏘고 나가면 사진이 아니라 살아있는 어머니를 만날 수 있다.